What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon Wi-Fi battle, and this battle video is going to be a little bit special because we're doing some double battles. Hooray! Because some of you guys have been suggesting I bring back the double battles, and I gave into your demand, so here we are. I'm also using a mono Kalos theme team. We're only using Kalos Pokemon in this video. As you can see, I only have Malamar, Delphox, Chestnut, and Heliolisk, all Generation 6 Pokemon. My opponent's team is pretty threatening because she appears to have an extreme Evo Boost team, which is very threatening to play against because Clefairy with Redirection, Crocodile with Power Trip, not something I really want to deal with. So this first matchup is going to be pretty tricky to deal with because, you know, extreme Evo Boost teams can be pretty annoying and really cheesy as well. So I'm going to have to play accordingly with my very limited knowledge in double battling. So my opponent's going to lead off with the Xatu and Eevee as I decided to lead off with my Malamar and Delphox. So my opponent actually reveals to carry Simple Beam on her Xatu, and if you guys didn't know, Simple Beam actually works with the EVZ move, and so you can actually get +4 in all of your stats with Simple Beam plus the EVZ move. So my Malamar also carries Simple Beam, so it's actually a Simple Beam war right now. I wasn't anticipating the Xatu to carry Simple Beam, but that just makes this battle even better. It's the battle of the Simple Beam. So I'm actually going to go for the substitute with my Delphox. I actually have Infiltrator on my Malamar as opposed to Contrary, just in case I get my substitute up before I can Simple Beam with my Malamar. So my opponent's actually going to reveal to be Z-move. What a surprise. And I'm going to have to mirror the image or else Game Freak will smite me for using their Z-move. So we're going to see the extreme Evo Boost animation, hopefully, unless I have to cut it out. And if I do have to cut it out, you will not see it, or it'll be like a meme or something, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to see the extreme Evo Boost animation. It looks so beautiful. Oh, I just like have an eye-gasm. Like it's just nice eye candy. Eye-gasm's not the word. Eye candy is the better word. But yeah, Eevee's gonna open its eyes, and it's going to get so many stat boosts: +4 attack, +4 defense, +4 special attack, +4 special defense, and +4 speed. And I'm just like, dear God, help me. So my opponent's going to go for the baton pass here with his Eevee, and I'm in a really bad situation, really bad. My opponent's going to bring Crocodile here, and my opponent's going to go for Psy Up, and I'm like, oh my god, Psych Up, this game's over. What am I going to do? I have Topsy-Turvy. And you know the stat boost Eevee just baton passed? They are inverted, and now the Crocodile's at -4 in every stat. Gonna go for the Heat Wave here, and at -4, the Crocodile's gonna go down. So Malamar literally took a giant dump on my opponent's strategy. If my opponent baton passed an SB on there, that would have been extremely bad, but we still had to deal with a +4 Xatu. My opponent's gonna reveal to have Protect on the Clefairy. Not too surprising. I revealed Heat Wave, so I doubted he wanted to go for Follow Me. My opponent goes for Stored Power here to break my substitute with Delphox, which is unfortunate. I could have went for the Ally switch to, you know, switch places with myself, but I wasn't sure what move my opponent wanted to go for. But he does have Stored Power on Xatu. But I do have Fling with my Malamar, so I'm gonna fling a Salac Berry at myself, and with the Simple Beam, we're going to get +2 speed from the Salac Berry, which is a pretty cool interaction. And some of you guys are probably familiar with this strategy. And I'm gonna get
my weakness policy
with the Fling, and the main reason why I have Infiltrator is so I can fling the berry at my Delphox behind a substitute. But since my substitute was broken, I never got to showcase the strategy. But either way, you get it, because Simple Beam actually, or Infiltrator makes it so like status moves go through substitute. But now I'm gonna reveal Ally Switch, hoping my opponent does target the Delphox slot. My opponent reveals to go for Follow Me, or just, you know, decides to go for Follow Me, trying to redirect any damage thrown at the Xatu, because Xatu's my opponent's only one con. However, with Ally Switch, she cannot hit my Delphox, and I'm able to go for a +4 Heat Wave, and it's going to do a lot of damage. Clefairy nearly gets O-Code, and Xatu takes a lot of damage as well, despite the fact that she is at +4. My opponent's going to go for Protect here, but I don't think there's much my opponent can do. I can just keep Ally Switching and making my opponent forced into 50-50s, and I get a spam Heat Wave. I'm actually going to reveal Fire Pledge here, and I do have Fire Pledge on this Delphox, but the reason why I have Fire Pledge will become apparent in the next battle video. But yeah, Fire Pledge, gonna knock out the Xatu. And yeah, I'm going to go for Topsy-Turvy, trying to see if Magic Bounce blocked Topsy-Turvy, but unfortunately, Delphox ended up knocking out the Xatu, and my opponent's going to bring an Eevee here, and then rightfully so, my opponent's going to click the X button. So yeah, that was a pretty stumpy first battle, but I felt like I had to show it. But let's get into the second battle. In this battle, I'm using a strategy you guys suggested for me to use, using Symbiosis with Florges, trying to find a way to make Symbiosis to work. I think that's how you pronounce the ability. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm also going to try to use the Water Pledge and Fire Pledge moves because a few of you guys wanted to see me use those pledge moves together, so I decided to try them out and see the potential of them. So I lead off with my Florges and my Greninja. My opponent is up with the Salamence and the Milotic, a pretty good lead because Milotic pretty much walls my entire team, besides Chestnut, and then Mega Salamence can just one-shot me with Hyper Voice, so pretty good lead on my opponent's part, and I have a pretty bad matchup, but I'm hoping my opponent is afraid of Greninja on turn 1 and is going to scout for the Ice Beam, as thankfully the Protect, fairly obvious, my opponent's going to click Protect against Greninja, as I'm going to reveal to be a Fling. I'm going to target the Milotic here. I'm going to Fling the King's Rock, and the reason why I Fling the King's Rock is so Symbiosis does activate after the King's Rock activates. Now Symbiosis going to share the weakness policy with Greninja, and now I'm going to go for the Petal Blizzard. And what Petal Blizzard does is it actually targets your allies. So I'm going to Petal Blizzard myself, and guess what? We do a lot of damage to the Milotic, but we're going to activate our weakness policy. But unfortunately, Ash Greninja is banned on Battle Spot, and so I really wanted to use Ash Greninja with the strategy. We do get a little bit of a lucky crit there, but not much I can do, and I kind of deserve it for using Petal Blizzard on Florges. I really wanted to use Ash Greninja with this because the offensive potential would be ridiculous at +2 and both offenses, but since Ash Greninja is banned on Battle Spot, I had to stick with Torrent, because if I went with Protean and I went for Fling, my typing would be changed into just pure dark, I believe so, and yeah, I wouldn't get the weakness policy from Petal Blizzard. So that is why I have Torrent Greninja, also to give myself more of a challenge, I guess. So I wanted to run Ash Greninja originally, but I guess I'm going to have to stick with Torrent Greninja for the strategy. But I do have Auroras. I'm going to send it in here, and I'm going to click Blizzard with my Greninja, and that's going to easily be able to knock out Salamence at +2. We cannot miss because of Snow Warning, and Milotic still tanks a decent chunk as well. So the Salamence is going to go down without being able to lift a finger. And now my opponent is going to get a Citrus Berry with the Milotic, but that's fine. I should be able to tank whatever attack my opponent wants to go for with the Milotic, as my opponent chooses to go for Scald against their Greninja, but it's not going to be doing any damage to me. And thankfully, we do not get burned. So we're getting pretty lucky in this battle for sure, but I'm going to need any luck I can get to win with this strategy because it's very, very cheesy, as you guys will see. Now, my opponent's going to bring in the Celesteela, and the Celesteela is a big issue because Auroras does not want to stand against Celesteela. So I'm going to actually withdraw my Auroras here and bring in my Delphox. And now my Delphox doesn't carry weakness policy in this battle because you can't break item clause on Battle Spot. You can only have one of each item, so I can't run double weakness policy as much as I want to. I can't do it, so I had to change Delphox's item to Life Orb. I didn't really think about the item. I'm just like, okay, Delphox, you can have Life Orb. I kind of like use these Pokemon strategies like separately, like if that makes any sense. Like I used like 3 individual teams because I was trying to use multiple strategies, but I couldn't use them together because of the Battle Spot limitations, which is unfortunate, but I mean, whatever, we'll make do with what we got. So Delphox is in against the Celesteela, so I'm thinking my opponent's going to be pressured out by the Delphox, right? Because like Celesteela doesn't want to tank a Heat Wave, and Celesteela is pretty good, even though it is at half HP. I'm assuming my opponent's going to want to Protect or something this turn, so my opponent is going to go for the Protect. I feel like Protect is so easy to read in VGC, but it could be because I'm not really at high level of play. But I'm going to try to use Water Pledge here, and we're going to wait for Delphox with Water Pledge. The moves are going to combine, and now we're going to go for the Water Pledge against Milotic. Unfortunately, since Greninja moved first, it actually goes off of Delphox's special attack. But yeah, the Rainbow is going to appear, and what the Rainbow does is it actually doubles status effects for happening. So basically, it's like Serene Grace for your team, not for the opponent's team though. So Scald unfortunately is going to knock out my Delphox after I go for Fire Pledge, but I'm able to get the Rainbow effect, and Rainbow effect double secondary effects, and so it's like Serene Grace on the field right now. And guess what I got? I got double Blizzard hitting both enemies, so I have a 20% chance to freeze both enemies twice, which is kind of ridiculous for Freeze Hack since Freeze Hacks is so broken. So I'm going to try and go forward here, bring in Auroras, and this is kind of what the strategy revolves around, trying to get the Water Pledge, Fire Pledge, Nuke, and trying to get the secondary effect doubling to see the potential of it. Going to go for Blizzard here, fishing for a freeze, but unfortunately, we do not get a freeze, but I'm going to go for the Rock Slide here. We have a 60% chance to flinch both of them because of the Rainbow effect. I'm hoping we can get a flinch or some sort of hacks on my opponent. And we do get a flinch on Milotic, and we do get a flinch on Celesteela. So the freaking Rainbow is so funny, man. We got a 60% chance to flinch with Rock Slide. This is kind of evil, but like it's really hard to get off this strategy, so I think it's kind of balanced. You never see Water Pledge and Fire Pledge used together, so you just don't realize how annoying this would be to play against. I also have Ancient Power on my Aurora to fish for the 20% chance to boost on my stats, but that's just more of like a cheesy thing than anything, more of like a troll, funny idea. Okay, Dark Pulse gonna knock out the Celesteela from that range of health, as now I'm gonna fish for an Ancient Power boost now because I'm like, may as well, right? May as well go for the Ancient Power boost. Unfortunately, my Milotic lives at 1 HP, and now my opponent's gonna go for the Scald against the Greninja. Thankfully, he does not knock me out, and the Hail's going to expire here, so the Hail's not going to knock out Greninja, which is really good for me, because now my opponent is going to bring in the Volcarona, and this Volcarona is still a massive threat to my team. I'm just going to target it with a Water Pledge this turn, as my opponent decides not to protect, surprisingly enough. I thought he would protect, but Water Pledge with Torrent is going to easily knock out Volcarona at +2, and yeah, down goes the Volcarona, and my Aurorus will be able to knock out my Milotic with the Ancient Power, and yeah, the Rainbow effect actually literally kicked my opponent's booty, which is absolutely hilarious. Nice to see the pledge moves and, you know, Symbiosis work together. And yeah, that was the second battle. The third battle, we were facing against Miss Magic, who has Tapu Lele, Zapdos, Celesteela, and Tyranitar. I decided to bring the same strategy. Unfortunately, guys, I don't use Chestnut in this video. I'm so sorry. I had Chestnut on this team, but it's just Chestnut in double format is so useless. Oh man, I'm sorry if you guys wanted to see me use Chestnut in this video, but it was just so hard to, like, I mean, it was a pretty boring Chestnut set. It was just Leech Seed, Spiky Shield. It really wasn't a cool set. It was just like a Resonance Sleeper boring set, so it was probably better that I didn't use the Celesteela. So my opponent is up with Lele and Zapdos. The Zapdos going to get the Psychic Seed, so this is looking pretty threatening. I'm assuming my opponent's going to fear Gunk Shot with the Lele because the Tapus are used on every single team, so Gunk Shot on Greninja doesn't seem too far-fetched. So I'm going to fling at the Zapdos, hoping that I get the read correctly, because if I get it wrong, I pretty much automatically lose. Thankfully, we're able to get the read correct. Symbiosis is going to activate, and now I'm going to go for the Petal Blizzard, and, you know, Lele protected himself, but either way, I'm going to go for Petal Blizzard. And we're going to hit Greninja, do a decent amount to myself, but not enough to really be worried. And I'm going to activate my weakness policy. And now we're at +2 in our offenses. Like I said, I really wish Ash Greninja was allowed in a VGC, but alas, I would definitely use Mix Greninja if it was allowed, but I'm sticking with Special because Ash Greninja is not allowed on Rated Battle Spot. I'm going to go for the Ally switch here, go for Dark Pulse on Lele. I know they're probably going to double target into the Greninja slot, as thankfully they do target into the Greninja slot. Florges takes Thunderbolt very nicely as we do flinch Lele. That doesn't really matter though because I did Ally switch and I'm assuming my opponent clicked Moonblast there. Now I'm going to bring in my Aurorus here to set up the Snow Warning just so I can hit my opponent with a Blizzard, as it's going to kill Lele and do a lot of damage to Zapdos. My opponent's going to go for the Protect yet again, playing very safe with the Lele, surprisingly enough. Normally Lele is played very aggressively, but I guess my opponent wants to try to get a Tailwind up. But I'm going to click the Blizzard here against Zapdos. At +2, we do not knock him out because of the Psychic Seed. My opponent decides to go for Thunderbolt. I thought he would want to go for a Tailwind there, or she'd want to go for Tailwind, but I guess not. But either way, that's fine with me because now I do outspeed my opponent still. I mean, if my opponent went for Tailwind, she'd be in a really good situation right now. I'm surprised she didn't, in all honesty. Maybe she thinks I have Water Shuriken even though Tapu Lele's on the field. I have no idea why she didn't click Tailwind there, but I'm not complaining. So now my opponent's going to bring a Tyranitar to get rid of the Hail. Very smart call, as I'm actually going to pull a switch because I don't want to lose my Aurorus just yet, and I want to try to get the Fire Water Pledge combination before I bring in Aurorus because of the strategy I showed you guys in the previous battle. So I'm going to go for the Blizzard here. Unfortunately, Tyranitar coming in is going to ruin the accuracy of it, and Zapdos is able to dodge it and go for the Roost, which is pretty unfortunate. Zapdos gets all of its health back, and I'm in a pretty bad situation here. But since I do have Greninja out against Tyranitar, I'm thinking my opponent's going to want to protect herself because Tyranitar is really good against Delphox, and against my team in general. My opponent's going to go for the Protect like I expected. Protect reads are so easy. I'm going to go for the Fire Pledge because I actually gave my Delphox a Choice Scarf just so Greninja gets to use the Water Pledge at +2, and Water Pledge at 140 base power. I think it's 160. I think it's absurdly powerful. I'm not sure, but the Rainbow is going to activate, and now secondary effects are doubled, And my Delphox unfortunately is locked in the Fire Pledge. Maybe I shouldn't have given it a Choice Scarf, but it was like just a short or a pretty quick fix to having the Pledge move be worked up Delphox's attacking stat as opposed to Greninja's. But even though the moves combine, it's still a Water type attack, which is very good to know. I didn't actually realize that, but I mean, regardless of the way you combo Fire Pledge and Water Pledge or Water Pledge into Fire Pledge, it is going to be a Water type attack, which is something I didn't actually know. But now what the hell is going to happen again? My opponent's going to switch out of the Tyranitar, not wanting to lose it to Water Pledge. He's going to bring in the Lele as fodder. As I bring in Aurorus, just trying to click Blizzard because I believe I clicked Blizzard here, though I could have went for Dark Pulse. I do click Blizzard, trying to get the 20% chance to freeze. Can you guys blame me? I just want this, like, the Serene Grace Blizzard spam, essentially, just to work. I pretty much have Serene Grace at this point. My opponent's going to go for the Heavy Slam, unfortunately, but Greninja's able to live it, thankfully enough. And now we have Aurorus in with Greninja, and I'm hoping I'm able to show off my last move because I haven't showed you guys my last move on Aurorus yet. I think you guys are going to like it because it's pretty fun. My opponent's going to bring in the Tyranitar here, and this Tyranitar is a monstrous threat. I still have Water Pledge to hit this thing, but I know he has Protect, so it's like a 50-50 if he's going to Protect or not. My opponent does decide to go for Protect. I'm like, this is so obvious, man, but I was really tempted to target into Tyranitar. My opponent decides to go for a double Protect, trying to stall me out with the Sand. That is definitely the safest call for sure. I go for Water Pledge targeting Tyranitar because I have no idea if he's going to bait the Protect, but now I'm going to reveal my last move with my Aurorus. I'm going to do the Z animation very quickly because I sped up this battle a decent amount. I'm going to go for a Z Psych Up targeting my own Greninja, so now we're going to restore all of our HP, and we actually have a Spadef increase thanks to the Tyranitar Sand. Unfortunately, Greninja's going to go down to the Sandstorm, but we still have Serene Grace Rock Slides, and I'm hoping that is enough to like win this game. We also have +2 in attack and special attack, which is definitely going to help us deal some damage. I'm going to bring in my Delphox here, and I also have Serene Grace Heat Wave with Choice Scarf, so I'm really hoping with Serene Grace I can like come through with the victory, because at this point it's not looking so good for me. Celesteela and Tyranitar have the advantage for sure. Celesteela dodges Heat Wave, which really sucks. Gonna go for Heat Wave against Tyranitar, as the 20% chance to burn, I believe it's 20%, gets turned into 40%, so we get a 40% chance to burn. My opponent's gonna go for the Rock Slide, as we're actually able to live it thanks to the Bird Hacks. Very lucky on my behalf. And now I do get flinched with the Aurorus, which really blows because I was gonna go for Rock Slide there, and I believe with a 60% chance to flinch, Celesteela would have most likely flinched, and then Heat Wave I would have had 2 Pokemon, but essentially I only have 1, and he's going to get a Beast Boost and Attack, which is very important. I thought he was Spadef, but he's actually offensive Celesteela, I guess. Maybe Attack Beast Boost is so he can like deal damage to opponents faster. But yeah, that's kind of good for me because now I know in Blaze range, because it's actually a Blaze Delphox. I used Magician Delphox originally, but then I realized Blaze is just more handy in general because I mean, it's going to either have Simple or it's gonna have an item, so I'm like, I may as well just give it Blaze. So I'm gonna go for Heat Wave here with Blaze active, as my opponent's gonna go for Protect with Celesteela, and it all comes down to if my opponent can outspeed with Tyranitar. But since my Florges is actually timid max speed, don't ask me why. I ran max speed on Florges just so I can get the Petal Blizzard off as fast as possible, just so like in case the flinch isn't enough, I'm still able to get the Petal Blizzard off, and you know, Florges and Greninja doesn't get insta-gift. I don't know, man. It was just like an idea in my head, and it worked out. The reason why I won this battle is because of max speed Florges. Now I'm able to go for a Helping Hand, reveal my last move on my Florges, I do believe, and now my opponent's going to reveal Protect, or not reveal, but just keep clicking Protect. Oh, everyone in VGC loves Protect. I don't know why, but it's so easy to read. I'm like, yeah, he's going to Protect 100%, and I don't know, it's allowed me to win a lot more games, just like predicting the obvious Protect. However, I feel like a higher level playing the way I'm playing will definitely kick your ass, but I'm able to go for a Scarf Heat Wave here because I am Choice Scarf Delphox in this game. I also have Zen Headbutt on this Delphox because I actually went to the move tutor, taught it Zen Headbutt just to see if I could like flinch people down, but I didn't get to use Zen Headbutt with the Delphox. I replaced Substitute since I gave it Choice Scarf. You know, pretty obvious. But yeah, we're going to win this battle against Miss Magic, and yeah, that's going to include the double battle extravaganza video I gave you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little bit of a different kind of video for the you know, mono regional series I'm doing. I figured I'd do one of them as a double battle because it'd be a nice change of pace. I'm sure you guys are getting sick of, you know, the mono regional battle, so I figured I would mix it up. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was pretty fun to make, and I got some pretty fun battles with the team. If you guys enjoyed these battles and really want to support my channel, I would appreciate it if you hit the thumbs up button, as it really helps out my channel a lot more than you think, and it keeps me motivated to put out these daily uploads for you guys, and it's much appreciated. Anyways, the question of the day is going to be, which Pokemon from the Kalos region is your personal favorite out of all the Pokemon in the Kalos region? Let me know in the comments down below which Pokemon from the Kalos region you enjoy the most, essentially. Now, me personally, I like all three starters, but Delphox is my favorite. I know a lot of people love Greninja. Some people are like Greninja sexual, but I just like Delphox a lot more, mainly because it's a psychic type, and I just like fire types and psychic types, so that might be why I like Delphox so much. I also really love Malamar. That's also a psychic type, but that's not the reason why. It's just because like the way it evolves, it's so funny. You like turn your DS upside down, and when I found that out when trying to get the shiny charm, my mind was absolutely blown. Like I didn't actually know that's how you evolved Inkay into Malamar. And from using it in my Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon team, and just using it in these double battle teams I've been doing recently, I've grown to love Malamar a lot more. And Malamar is just honestly like one of my favorite Pokemon from Gen 6 for sure. And I really love the Goodra line. It's like one of the most underwhelming pseudo-legendary lines, but it's honestly like super cute, and like its Bidef stat is really good. I remember when I thought like Goodra was really broken and Gen 6 overused, I'm like, yeah, this Pokemon's absolutely OP. And then it's not that great. I believe it's rarely used, is it not? Or is it underused? I don't even remember, but it's not doing so hot, that's for sure. But I still love Goodra very much. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below which Pokemon from the Kalos region you enjoy the most from out of all the Kalos Pokemon. But of course, thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye.